a good time. Put a smile on your face, yeah. KB Cam and Elation Radio. Even brighten your day and help you through the night. Bring you good music. KB Cam and Elation Radio. And here's your host, KB Cam.
Do you have an upcoming event? Well, I encourage you to book Beyond the Fence family for an amazing experience. Beyond the Fence is a talented group of men and women who have toured the world to display their talents of song and ministry. Did I forget to mention multi-award winners? They're your one-stop shop for making your event the best in the city. Book Beyond the Fence today at beyondthefence.org. Click menu, then contact. Beyond the Fence, your audience will thank you.
As I turn on my TV, looking at the news, another brother being gunned down, another one accused, a homeless mother with her 3 kids, with nowhere to go, another in the line of fire, ended up in the hospital, a father only being bullied in front of his kids, another sister being fired for just keeping it real. Dividing, we're screaming stop the violence, but how can I breathe with all of this in front of me? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? The capital was raided. I'm feeling so frustrated. They say all lives matter, but if it did, we didn't notice it. Police wasn't so brutal in this brutality. We don't see eye to eye. We only see white supremacy. Who's reporting the news? She looks just like you. With tears in her eyes because she knows this is a fight. The media dividing. We're screaming stop the violence, but how can I breathe with all of this in front of me? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world? Can we unite the world? I believe that we can change the world, one person at a time.
Shay, tell 'em what the focus about. Can't breathe when you choking me out. Now you notice my doubts. When it comes to the unity and hope to unite. From birth, how I'm holding us right. Follow the laws of the land. You mad at the still. But what about the people on Capitol Hill? Hope we can all learn from that and we build. Because we can change the world. Change the world. We can change the world. Change the world.
And there you have it. Shay Samuels, Beyond the Fence in the building. David Benton. We can change the world if we just stick together. We did it. Yeah.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio. And you better be smiling.
Beyond the Fences in the building.
Yes. Welcome to another beautiful night right here on Beyond the Radio. This your host, your main man, David Benton, and I am in the building. And you know what? I am smiling. That's right, I am smiling. And I hope you guys are smiling. Why? Because you're right here tonight. You're blessed. You're alive. You are breathing. And guess what? If you don't feel blessed, you have an opportunity to get it right. You have an opportunity to change your circumstances. If you feel weak, you have a chance to get that power that's already in you and be able to move mountains. That's right. So you have a reason to smile. Believe that. Shout out to the Elation family. We love you. Thank you for your constant prayers, because we know once we come on here, we are already covered. That's why we just gone in and get to it. Shout out to the Beyond the Fence family. We love you guys. DB Jr., Miss Alma Neely, William G. Will, the DJ, Faulkner, and the Jewel. We love you, and all the family that's a part of Beyond the Fence that's so supportive. And we thank you to become right here on Beyond the Radio, listening right here with us on the Elation Network. Thank you. We got a wonderful show for you guys tonight. So you know how we do it. We love to have fun. We love to laugh. We love to joke. Teaching moments, because we want you to become a better version of yourself, and we want you to grow. That's right. We don't want you to come in here and just feel good, and that's it. We want you to have a transformation of the mind. That's what we want. So tonight, it's time to teach you guys tonight. That's right. So with that being said, can I get a drum roll? The coach, the infamous 2017 Gospel Choice Award winner, also multiple other awards. Need I say, the Coach Shay. Are you in the building?
Yes, Coach Shay is in the building. And I'm smiling, Coach David. I'm smiling. Shout out to the Elation family. Coach Shay. Well, Coach David, my week has been amazing. I'm sure you asked that over the claps. If people don't know, if you're listening anywhere in the Georgia area, shout out to the Beyond the Fence family, but if you're listening anywhere in the Georgia area, this week I found out, I had this little kind of cough and sneezing and itchy throat, and I thought it was just kind of like a common, almost summer cold. And I found out through a friend's post that there was a sinus infection that was like swarming Georgia, and it was contagious. And so I want you guys to be mindful that although COVID may not be running as rampant, there's still some things out there. Coach David, I took one of those at-home COVID tests on Tuesday. It came back negative almost immediately. So I chumped it up to I just have a common cold. I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, won't he do it?
Yeah, won't he do it? And so it wasn't COVID at all. Although the symptoms, since I had COVID before, it did feel that way. But I just want to make everyone aware, because I had to be scrolling through that, it's out there. Yes, COVID may not be running as rampant, but, this is really an information opportunity for us to give you guys what we know, to educate you guys, not just spiritually, but even in health. We talk about a lot. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that, not just here in the Atlanta area. I saw that several other people had suffered from this last week, and they didn't know until they saw that post. So just get yourself informed. There is a sinus infection that is swarming, and I don't know if it's global, but I'm saying here in Atlanta, Georgia, there's about several friends of mine who have been affected by it. I talked to a young man yesterday who's going to be a part of our concert in July, and he said last week he was suffering from it, just didn't know what it was. So, yes, there is a sinus infection that's swarming, and Coach Shay has been impacted by it, but it has not affected my week. So I want to give a great big shout out for the work that we have to put in that has to keep on going. And to, I'm going to say, Kendra, because Kendra keeps me in check, Coach David. She's making sure I eat. She's making sure I stay hydrated. She's on B12. She's like, are you taking B12? Are you taking your supplements? So thank God for friends like that who are ensuring that, you have really sisters, but sisters like that make sure you have everything in check, because she knows how busy we are, right? So I also want to give a shout out to New Covenant Church. Apostle Willie and Apostle Teresa. Today we celebrated 14 years of one of their locations. If you are not in a church home that's consistently growing, not just in members, but in locations such as New Covenant, I think you need to find another church. I'm sorry to say that, but they are always growing, and 14 years to celebrate one of their locations and really elect one of the pastors as pastor, installed them today. So it was a great opportunity to see how growth looks within the body. So it's been a very eventful week, Coach David. How about you?
Mine has been very impactful. It's been a beautiful thing. My nephew, Joe Styles, he's a professional dancer. He came down here. He flew down here from Las Vegas. He came here home to Knoxville, and he danced. And it was just a good feeling, man. Just seeing my nephew out there doing his thing, and him to come home and just tell us how much he missed family. And he's busy, I'm busy, and we could come together and just talk and just talk about family, no industry type of things or nothing, just family, man. It's my nephew. He remember, I was just playing basketball, he looked up to his mom. I'm just down there running up and down that court, scoring and dishing that ball. And he was just my little nephew. And just to see my nephew, how he's grown and to become the man he is, his girlfriend and his fiance and his beautiful daughter, my niece, I'm just grateful. And my other niece, Dara Benton, just to see her, dance.
Yes, she killed it. I saw it. Oh, my goodness.
And, just to see my family, it's a beautiful thing. And also, I want to, shout out to William G. Will Faulkner. I want to tell that brother happy birthday. Happy 47th birthday. Yeah, shout out to William G. Will Faulkner, the DJ. Shout out, man. Happy birthday, man. Happy 47th birthday. Even though, G. Will, you forgot your birthday, man. He forgot his age. The brother forgot his age. My goodness. We said, how old are you? He's on 48. And I was years. And then everybody looked at each other like, hey, ain't you 47? He said, oh, yeah, I am 47. Yeah,
I love it. Time flies by when you're having fun, though, Coach David. Time flies by when you're having fun.
Hey, he said, oh, I was thinking about Nikki, which is his wife. Man, shout out to Bill, man. Hey, man, brother, you look like you're 39. So shout out to G. Will, 147. Brilliant guy, man. Awesome family man. Loving person. Genuine. Do anything for you. And a great example
of what a father and a husband looks like and a granddad, man. Like, shout out to G. Will. I'm so grateful to say, man, that's my cousin, man. That's my family, and I love them. Also, I want to put my friend, my brother. He's a brother to we've been like brothers since 1976. Like, since I can remember, my dad and his dad literally was best friends, and I grew up with this brother. He always been my like a brother to me. His name George Cox. Shout out, to George, man. I just came from the hospital. His mother, she's, in the hospital. She's doing well. She's getting better.
Good.
It looks scary. Looks scary. But she's getting stronger. And I just kissed on her forehead and said, "Gloria, I love you. This little Butch. That's my nickname, y'all. That's my nickname. You know what I'm saying?" It was just beautiful. She smiled and she couldn't talk, but just to know that, that's little Butch. And all the times, man, I used to spend the night over the house, and she watched me, and and all the times, even she whooped me. She even whooped me, y'all. She done whooped me. My parents gave her permission, put them paws on me. She did it a couple of times. So she was like a mom to me. My parents didn't mind. So, just keep her in prayer that she gets stronger and stronger, man. Like, please do that.
Yes. He will definitely be in our prayer.
Yes. Coach Shay, I love what you was talking about, how you were saying, with the sinuses, right? And what you were saying was, like, you had somebody who held you accountability partner, to make sure you do what you're supposed to do. Get some of them lemons, do this, take that, make sure you're all right, blah, blah, blah. You put in the work. Because God did God's job when God created you, right? Because God created a healing process inside you. And because God created a healing process inside you, you are aware of that. and I'm saying this because tonight I was wanting to talk about when we say we are waiting on God. Now, waiting on God without putting in the work, it's not possible, people. Nothing's impossible for God. I know what you're about to say. But there's nowhere in Scripture where people didn't have to put in the work. Even with Moses, he told him to pick up his staff. That's an action. Go to Egypt. Action. Everything that God told us to do was action. Jesus on the cross. Action. Think about it. Jesus said he could have called out some legions of angels. They would have came down and rescued him. He could have did that, but he didn't. Why? Because he had to put in some action. Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Action. I want everyone to know, like, when scriptures speak of waiting on God, wait is really like related to hope. And hope is related to trust.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Because think about it. Faith is things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. So there's an anticipation with that. There's an anticipation. That's when you have faith, because you have hope and you have an anticipation. But along with that wait, when we're waiting on God, understand there's got to be patience. What is patience? What the Bible say about patience? long suffering. Meaning you gonna suffer long. It ain't always easy being patient. Patience is not always easy, but there are requirements to patience, which is long suffering. Right? So waiting on the Lord means you planting that seed of faith. And when you plant that seed of faith, Shay, you always quote that scripture where it say, one man plants, one man water, God get an increase. But planting and watering is nourishing the seed. It's a part of the nourishment of the seed. See? And God get an increase, that's the waiting period. But one plant, one water, God get an increase. You got to wait on what you put action in.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So you plant the seed of faith and nourish the faith. You got to nourish it. You put the seed in the ground, one man plant, faith, one man water by faith, and you have a natural law that's already there because you didn't create that natural law, God did. So when you plant that seed and you plant it, you put it in good soil and one man water, and guess what? The sunlight comes from God. The air comes from God. But watch this. You got to put in the work. You got to take it, make sure it's watering, right? You got to make sure, you plug out all the bad, the ants and bugs, and you might kill the crop. Pull out the other bad weeds around it. You got to put in work. Why? Because there's a waiting period where God is actually putting in the action. It's taking place. It's taking place.
Yes.
But there's a period of patience. I think the biggest misconception is you're getting in God's way. That is so disrespectful to God. If God created the sun, S-U-N, and the sun, S-O-N, you can never think you're powerful enough to get in God's way. I know what y'all saying. Well, no, we talk about disobedience and you getting in your own way. Listen, you can't get in God's way, though. Because God is God. Don't disrespect God like that. God can give and God can take away. It is never wrong because God can do what God wants to do. So you ain't powerful enough to get in God's way. But we must stop feeling like we can just wait on God and be lazy and it just happens for you. Every example in the Bible, God made them put in the work. Why? Because God. We pray. Guess what we're praying for? God put in some work. We're praying for God to put in some work for us. But watch this. We so lazy and so feeling entitled. Oh, because you're so good. You don't smoke. You don't drink. You don't use profanity. You go to church 9 days a week. You fast 10 days out of the week. You on your knees 45 days out the month. And you up shouting to God and slaying in the Holy Spirit 32 hours a day. It's entitlement. You're waiting on God when it's unnecessary to wait without putting in the work. You must have faith. You must put in the work because faith without works is dead. You put in the work and be patient enough to understand that everything takes time. And it's a natural law that God already created. We put so much on God because we don't want to be the ones to have to be responsible. We don't want to feel like failures. But Coach Shay, you just said it, see? You had somebody who held you accountable. You put yourself around the correct type of people to further who you already are. That doesn't mean you're not brilliant. You just have an accountability partner to coincide with your existence. Coach Shay.
You always say some amazing things, Coach David. I want to piggyback on, the patiently waiting, because I feel like at times time moves so fast. The world allows us all these opportunities to just be impatient, right? Like, you can't be patient in traffic. You can't wait in restaurants. I was in a restaurant the other day, and this lady came in, and I could tell right away that she was going to be impatient. And this is one of those restaurants where the food's made a la carte. And, for those of you who may not know what that means, it means they make it as you come in. And so it's not like one of those restaurants like a KFC where it's prepared and you get it and you go. And so I knew that this lady coming in was going to be impatient. And I said, if she just waited a few seconds longer, like, she would have gotten the most amazing food ever, and she would have understood that it was worth the wait. Do you get what I'm saying, Coach David? She would have understood. Some things that we are impatient about, I need us to understand that there's a process in between. You can't go from 9th grade all the way to 12th. 10th and 11th grade is going to allow you some things to add to your journey. So when you get to the 12th grade, you created some memories. You've learned a number of things. And some of us just want to jump from 9th to 12th grade. But there's a process in the middle of all that that's going to allow us progression. And once you get whatever you were impatient about, I think they'll understand that it's so much worth the wait. So this lady, she picked up her stuff. She was upset. And I listened to the owner's sister say, she said, there's so much happening in the world. Like, we shouldn't be arguing over no chicken. But the owner said, because she was so confident in her meal, she said, refund her money back. The lady went outside and she said, I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to leave a bad review. I'm going to do this. Seriously, just the impatience of it. And the owner was so confident. When you're confident in who you are and what you do, listen, the owner walked slow motion, Coach David. She didn't rush. She was very patient. She understood her product, and she understood that her impatience not only allowed her an opportunity, she said, she's just going to help my business grow. She said, people don't know, they go out, they storm out, they do what they do. She said, they only help my business grow. So where one person was impatient, this young lady, this owner, was very patient. So it's twofold. When someone's operating in impatience, there has to be someone with patience around. It's a balance. I learned that kind of with us. There are times where I'm impatient. There's times where you're impatient. But the reality of it is we're never that at the same time. So there's always somebody one of us to say, look, okay, we're going to stop for a second. But in the end of it, we realized that it was so much worth the wait.
Yeah. Powerful. We got 2 minutes to the break. Coach said, I thought you was gonna keep going.
I could keep going. I wanted to just emphasize too, when you talk about the flower or the seed, a man can't plant a seed, like you said. We plant a seed and we impatiently wait for it to grow, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if you don't look at the type of seed you're planting, you could be planting it in the wrong season anyway. It may not be growing because it's the wrong seed. And you being impatient, it's not going to allow that seed to grow any faster. So I wanted to add to that, Coach David, because I love talking about seeds. People will grow. I learned so many years ago at the age of 21, when I bought my first home, I started looking at seeds a little bit more because I wanted to plant a garden. There's some seeds you plant in the winter so they can grow in the spring. But somebody might be looking at the snow on the ground and say, this will never grow.
Wow.
So I just wanted to even emphasize that. Yeah, I wanted to emphasize on that too, Coach David, because you might be planting the wrong seed, the right seed at the wrong season, and you're wondering, I'm watering, I planted, I'm watering, and I don't see any growth because you planted the wrong seed. So that's what I wanted to say before the break, Coach David.
Yes, you can go ahead and lead us into the break too, Coach Shay. You on the roll?
Well, listen. You know, I'm losing my voice, Coach David. But listen, that's our first half. If you're just tuning in, we are talking about being impatient in a world where we really can and control our ability to be patient. We're asking for things of God, and we're not working for it. So we're going to talk a little bit more in depth on the next half of this show. But for now, we're going to go to a music break. So where's the music at? 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 Where's the
Gotta say a prayer for my friend. Called me up the other morning 4 a.m. Said he's going through some things in his life, having it hard and hadn't slept in several nights. And he's calling me to help him on his way. If I didn't mind, could I stay on the phone and pray? So I walked into the living room, and Lord, this is what I said to you, 'cause you're the only way. Down and bring peace with it. So I place my trust in you. So pour your blessings down, pour your blessings down. Lord, I raise this up to you and only you can bring the favor down and bring peace with it. So I place my trust in you. So pour your blessings down, pour your blessings down, Lord, yeah. So I got to work so tired, could barely hold my eyes. Then my boss, he called me in the office by surprise. To myself, oh Lord, I put this in your hands. And with the fear, I went to him, said, here I am. He said, close the door, I know that you're a praying man. My heart is heavy and I'm in need of counseling. I think I'm about to lose the love of my life. The doctor says she's ill, but I can't lose my wife. Favor down and bring peace with it. So I place my trust in you. So pour your blessings down, pour your blessings down. Lord, I
me closer to you. Jesus, you're all I need. I exalt your name above everything. Fill me with your fire, love song, love song, love song. My heart speaks to me in a simple melody of what you are to me. This is my love song, and my heart speaks to me in a simple melody of what you are to me. With every part of me, Lord, I love you. My heart speaks to me in a simple melody of what you are to me. This is my love song.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio, and you better be smiling.
Beyond the Fence is in the building. That's right. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Beyond the Radio. I'm your co-host, Coach Shay, and I'm with your main man, your host, Coach David Benton. And tonight we have an amazing topic, just like every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, talk about accountability, faith without work being dead. I promise you, I have some amazing accountability partners. Coach David, he's in the background talking about the topic is waiting on God without action. And so let me go ahead and make sure I correct myself and say the topic is waiting on God without action. And in that, we're talking about you just got to be patient. But before we go back into the topic, I want to give a great big shout out to our sponsors, as always. Shout out to Paula G. Voice Lady Wisdom After Midnight. If you are in the market, listen, just because the new year is over, we're already in May, there's still time for you to remake, redo, reinfrastruct. Get something new if you are a program director, a music director. If you are a business and you're looking for someone to actually do a quality commercial, if you have new music coming out and you want someone to do a voiceover for your promotions, look up Paula G. Voice Lady Wisdom After Midnight. Listen, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. I want you guys to look her up at Paula at paulagvoice.com or paulagvoice.com to find out what she has going on. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. If you are in the Knoxville or surrounding areas, we want you guys to look up DJ G Will. G Weezy is what I call him. Again, happy birthday to him. You will see on his Facebook page at William G. Will Faulkner all the things that he has going on in the surrounding areas, but he will also travel. If you are still pandemic conscious and you don't want to have people in your home, you don't want to bring people together, and you want to do something virtually, I promise you, we've used him a few times for our virtual events. The latest thing was our God is in Everything 2022 conference, and he always throws down. So go ahead and look G. Will up at beyondthefence.org. That's BEYONDAFENCE.org. Last but not least, David, can I get a drum roll? Hey. Hey. He wasn't done yet. Let's Talk Business Consulting Strategy and Coaching Group, LLC. I'm going to say it like Davidson said for the last year and a half. We have a 100% success rate. Our business is flourishing. Your business is flourishing because of it. And we just want to say thank you to all the business owners who have entrusted us with their business. And now, going into the new year, all the organizations that have brought us in for training and workshops for their employees. But if you are a new business or an existing business or a company that would like someone to come in and coach, train, or provide workshops and training, or your new business that's just seeking ideas. You have a vision, you want to make it plain. Start with a coach. It's always important. I promise you, if you don't start with, we're talking about accountability and we're talking about being impatient. You don't know how many business owners we work with that just start. And by the time they get with us, they spent so much money and they spent it on the wrong things. Talk about being impatient. But let's talk business. You can reach into us at aboutbuildingleaders@gmail.com. As always, David, I would be remiss if I did not ask you to let the listeners know about our youth program.
Yes, shout out to all our youth. Yes, right here on Let's Talk Business, we have where we, a youth program where we consult the youth, not just the troubled youth, but youth who just want to go further in life. One thing about it, I remember when I was a teenager, I made great grades. I was an honor roll student, but once I graduated, I didn't really have no direction, didn't really know what I wanted to be. We were lacking a lot of resources at my high school. So it ain't like we had welding, wood shop. We didn't have those type of things. So I was kind of stagnant where I wanted to go. But here at Let's Talk Business, consulting group for the youth, we will help them become a better version of themselves. The things that's inside them, we will give them direction. And I'm telling you, by the time they graduate, they will have an idea of who they are and what they want to become. And so they can be an asset to our, to this world. They want to be an asset to their community. So just reach out to us at aboutbuildingleaders@gmail, and, we going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen.
I absolutely love it.
The youth blesses us, too, because when we see these things happen, it really does motivate us to want to do more because we have seen the success. So it just makes you want to go harder,
Yeah. What I love, Coach David, I love when the families finally come in and they're listening to what's happening to help their youth, but then it ends up helping the family. I love when transformation happens in the family just from the youth coaching. And a lot of people think that it's about the youth, but you may not realize that a lot of what they're dealing with is coming from the family. And
yes.
So when you can take a family and start changing the dynamic of the home just off of the coaching sessions, it becomes a true blessing because then you see the family saying, I didn't know I needed that, or Dad didn't know he needed that, or Dad is just chiming in to support, and something we say touches. So just know that even as a family, just because it's the youth, it doesn't mean that you won't be able to partake in it as well. Before we go, I do want to say July 9th, 2022, we will be in Danville, Virginia. The Beyond the Fence tour is going to Danville, Virginia. You can find the information on our page at Beyond the Radio, on Facebook, or on Beyond the Fence. And also July 30th, it's going down in Lithonia, Georgia. Make sure you guys go to the website at www.beyondthefence.org to purchase your ticket. And we have none other than the Mistress of Ceremony, Miss Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. We spoke about her earlier today, and you guys will not be disappointed. The whole Beyond the Fence family will be in one building. So please make sure you go out and register today. If you don't do it today, make sure you register. Everybody's going to wait until the last minute, and guess what? We're going to be sold out. We just going to be sold out. So,
I be telling my family the tickets are going.
They're going. They are going. I got 4 or 5 text messages today of people who are purchasing their tickets this week. We have people who are flying in. We have people who are driving in. They ain't playing. We've just had to add one more location just because there's too many people who want to come from one state, and that will be announced again on the Beyond the Fence page. So be on the lookout for that as well. Shout out to everyone that we have visited on the state-to-state tour. Coach David, you guys have been so supportive, connecting with us on social media, inviting us to events that you're having. It's just been a really successful 2022, and I'm sure that I can speak on behalf of all the Beyond the Fence family. We appreciate you all. All right, so let's go ahead and get back into this topic. Coach David, I ended it, so I just want to piggyback off of what I was talking about as far as the seed being sown. When we first said we were going to talk about this topic, the first two people I thought about was Abraham and Sarah. I was thinking about all of the covenants that God had given them before any promise that God had for them was to come true or to come to fruition, right? There was so many covenants. And here's what we're missing. We're missing the fact that there's so many things that you have. There's so many things that you have to do, and you said it earlier, Coach David. There's so many things that, people in their midnight prayers. Oh God, if you give me this, I promise I'm going to give up the drinking. I'm going to give up the smoking. I'm going to leave that guy alone. I'm going to leave that girl alone. Oh, I got to do this. Everybody promises, and then when they get what they want, those promises go by the wayside.
Yes.
Those promises absolutely go by the wayside. So in this case, Abraham and Sarah, God promised them a kid. And I'm saying it for lack of better terms, but God promised them a kid. And Abraham was in disbelief. It's like there were a couple things that happened in this, like names changing. It went from Abram to Abraham, Sarah to Sarai. And it went from, there are some changes that are going to happen in this patiently waiting period. And I want to make sure that we can identify with that. It's not just going to happen. Even with the seed is planted in the ground. There's still a process of growth before it actually is a flower. You're going to see a little bud. That's just evidence of growth. So God's going to give you evidence while you're patiently waiting that the promise is to come. Coach David?
Yes, that's so true. Just like the butterfly, it was once a caterpillar. Can you believe that? Like it was a little worm. Went from a little crawling worm and now it's flying. But it didn't fly as a little worm. And guess what? It's God's doing. Not the caterpillar. Not the butterfly. That's God. Something that's natural. That's going to happen anyway. But it's a process that has to be, that it's a waiting process when it's in that cocoon area. So, Coach Shay, I've seen people say, okay, I'm waiting on a husband. I'm waiting on my Boaz. I hear that all the time. I'm waiting on my Boaz. And kings, queens, men, women of God, but this is for my queens, my women of God right now. I want to tell you. Oh, no, this is for the men too, because, I've heard men say they're waiting on God to send them a wife. If you're not ready to be a wife, then how can you expect a husband? You got to be prepared. Men, if you want a wife, then you got to be husband. You got to be husband material. You can't just say, well, I'm waiting on God to send me this beautiful lady. Women, you like, I want God to send me my Boaz. But you're not mentally prepared to be a wife because much is given, much is required. There are things that you're going to have to compromise now because you're not by yourself. So you got to ask yourself, am I ready? Am I prepared? So here's the thing. You're waiting on God to send you a man, but you're not putting yourself in the position to receive the man. You have to put it into action. Once the disciples, who was that? Peter. It was Peter and another disciple that was in the Bible. I think it was Peter and John. And You know, it was the man right at the pool. He was in the pool. He was at that pool. And remember they say when the angel come and give him blessings and everybody was just running to the pool and this man couldn't walk. He was trying though. He would go get his blessing. He couldn't walk, but guess what? He put in the effort. He was there. He put in the effort. So he asked Peter and John for a blessing. He said, gold and silver I do not have, but pick up your mat and walk.
Mm-hmm.
They had that. They had that, but he put in the work. Even though people was on foot and they was beating him to the pool to receive the blessing, he still put in the work. If he never went to the place where he met Peter and John to be able to walk, so he had to put in the place. He had to put himself in the right area. He had to put himself in the right company of people. You must put yourself in the right area. You must be spiritually and mentally prepared for these things that you say you're waiting on God for. How you going to wait on God and God is God? God is omniscient, omnipresent, all this power that God has. How you going to wait on a God that's already there?
Yeah.
You waiting on God who's already around you, already in your face, already inside you, because he designed you to be just like him. Meaning you can create and turn and create. You have the power to control your narrative in your life. So I want you guys to understand who you are. Stop looking at God as an enabler for you. So awesome. You're so strong. You have so much greatness and power inside you, but you're looking outside yourself for the win. Stop looking outside yourself and look within. It's already in you. God created you in his image and his likeness, but how much do you believe the power that's within you? You say you got it by the Holy Spirit. How much do you really believe in that power within you? When are you going to decide to walk in your authority? You sitting on your blessings. Put in the work and allow the process. See, the process is the waiting period. That's what y'all don't get.
Yeah.
You put in the work and wait on the process. Just like when you work those 40 hours and then you get your check. But you put in the work first.
You better speak to somebody.
But when you put in the work, you'll get your reward. But you don't get paid every hour. But you don't get paid. You get paid by the hour, but you don't get paid every hour. You have to wait on it. Even in some of them jobs, you get paid each day. The labor worlds and the labor readies and all them places you get paid each day. You still must wait to the end of the day. There's still a waiting period. You can't work that 1 hour. Say, all right, I'm ready for that dollar. Then the next hour, okay, I'm ready for $7 more. I'm ready for $7.25 or $8 more, whatever you $10, $20. I want it. No, you have to either wait to the end of that work day, or the end of your work week, or the every 1st and 15th, or even if you get paid each month. You're going to have a waiting period, and in that waiting period, there's a process, and there's action that got to be taking place. You must put in the work. Or are you just going to sit down, do nothing, wait on God and expect something from God? That is so disrespectful. Coach Shay, that is so disrespectful. How can somebody not put in no work and expect God to put in the work? That is disrespectful. That's my closing, Coach Shay. I'm through for the night. I ain't talking to y'all no more tonight. I'm done.
Well, I think my closing would be, in the words of Outkast, you need to get up. You need to get up, get out, and get something. Don't let the days of your life pass by. You need to get out, and get something. I had to take it back. But, it's so true that we get hung up on, we want God, because God's promises, we know the scripture. Oh, God's promises are yes and amen. And so whatever it is that I desire, God's going to give it. And the reality of it is, like Coach David said, it takes a lot of work for the things of God. But one thing you said, Coach David, is the long suffering. And I appreciate you for saying that, because the waiting period is long suffering. And while in the waiting period, God is doing something with us individually. There's screws and nuts and bolts and I think like wrenches and hammers. Like it's like a little workhouse that God is working on us in the waiting period. And that is long suffering. There are things you're going to learn about yourself that you don't like. There's things that you're going to know, things that you're going to learn about yourself you didn't know were there. There's different levels of power that's going to ignite and activate. So in the waiting period, I want you guys to see it as this is the long suffering is the process I'm going through, because as I'm going through it, whatever God has for me on the other side, that's what's going to prepare me for where I'm going. So that long suffering and that waiting period, God is truly preparing you for where you're going. For every good thing, there's an instruction that comes with it. You've never bought anything that required you to put it together that didn't come with instructions. And so I want to encourage you in that even in sowing a seed, each seed has a different instruction. And so consider yourself this week and for the rest of the year a seed that has been planted, and patiently wait long with that waiting period and in long suffering. And that's my closing, Coach David. I want to say shout out to everybody who's listening tonight. Paula G, Voice Lady Wisdom After Midnight, shout out to you because I know you're listening. Kendra, if you're listening tonight, shout out to Kendra Wallace and my family in Delaware. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in.
D-Word the building.
So I guess I'm going to be the one closing it out. Tune in every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you follow the Beyond the Fence Facebook page and the Beyond the Radio Facebook page, the Beyond the Fence Instagram page, where you'll find all the information and recap of this show tomorrow. With that being said, where the music at? Where the music at?
Beyond the Fence.
Beyond the Fence.
Beyond the Fence.
Beyond the Fence.
DB Junior.
Yes, sir. I got you.
True, too.
You know I got you.
The Jewel.
Broski, you know I had to fly in on this one.
G. Will.
You know what it is.
You see coming like this, didn't you? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. My problems, God slaughtered them all, the harder I ball. Fighting like a scared cat, with her back against the wall. Slip, but I didn't fall. I adapted to the fall. Ignorance, I've been through it. That's why I don't want you to do it. I want to influence, since I'm already proven. You can be fan of a Judas, come at the end of the ruin. Who are we fooling? What are we proving? What are we doing? What are we building? What are we giving us of our children? Built a team, not just the industry thing. We do more than this rapper sing. Beyond the Fence, the family tree with the queen. We choose to worship with the king. And we protect the women by any means, and our children on everything.
The years I want my own fight, no life. Thinking everything is alright. Turn around and see my father in the light. Back in 03, that changed my whole life. Deceiving, one brother, one mother believing. Don't put on a life, I'm weeping. They say things happen for a reason. I'm believing, we're fleeing. Still alive, but you like I'm bleeding. I'm in the probation taking. Structures in my life, you need it. Same friends up and down, can't see it. To the back, to the past, got leaving. I'm a dance, I'm mind, I'm pleased. First, where's the procrastinate meeting? convert homies out and I eat it. Said I'm a loser, I said and I mean it. And I'm independent, my life was a Tito. That found out I was loyal. Was needed, but Colorado on sales. Received, but never stopped. And I know I keep preaching once I swap. I never will be this smooth with the floor. I won't be defeated.
Swag so magnificent, due to the omnipotent. Yes, you know it's heaven sent. Call me George Jefferson. I'm walking in your glory if I keep my eyes focusing. Never turn away from the one who first loved me, man. I go by G Will, I'm in the building, man. Good looking on the head off, the game just advanced. My focus so clearly beyond 2020. Thanks to BDF, there's a new addition to the family.
What I got in my music, principal purpose, so much that they use it. Bruising the proving, no way that I'm losing. Something I do, supposed to delusion. The BDF revolution. Wake up, ain't no more illusion. Concept to the union, we appreciate your contribution. Awaken us, sleep the time, define our bad it hurts. Conduct with metal, touch it, inspire push. Bring it together for better men. Bring it together, be better men. All of the people in Chile, graduate old school veterans. Take over the nation, Taliban. Hold up the world with one hand. Shoot through the vision, it's intense. Looking at what the beyond is.
We are beyond nothing. We are beyond nothing.
What was this one? I seen I've been drafted. Armor's been fitted and heavily crafted. Run to the battle through power, I blast. I do this for real. Pretend it's a strategy. Do this a classic. Read the back of the book, there's a test and I easily pass it. All the sacrifice of training, the blood and the tears, but I laugh it. Yeah, I'm a cast. I wanna speed it up. The label say slow it down. I skip my medication, tripolars traveling the speed of sound. I'm lost and now I'm found. Love you on the way up and they hate you on the way down. And it's never about the setting, it's the jewels that's in your crown. Judge.
We are beyond